So Bentley is officially 3 months old and he weighs 8 pounds and 3 ounces. And last time he was checked for height, he was 20 and 3/4 inches long. He just got his 2-month shots done 2 weeks ago, I think. And he wasn't able to get them done sooner just because he had that incision in his abdomen and he was on antibiotics, so they had to be postponed. He got all of the 2-month shots, and then one had to be given through his tube here, through the medication port, because it's supposed to be oral, but since he can't swallow, he got through there. He barely even cried for his shots. It was honestly fantastic. He did very well. We also saw his Riley's eye doctor this last month. His cataract has not grown in size, so we're still just going to hold off on surgery for right now, especially since it is so small, and me and my family history with malignant hyperthermia. Surgery would require extra precautions on top of him just being a small newborn, so it's just not safe to really do surgery right now for something as minor as that. He also saw his ear doctor, and we have a few clips from that. You just wanted to cry your whole hearing test? Yep. We just got back from Bentley's hearing test appointment. He had failed his one hearing test in the NICU, so we got referred to somebody up here, and he cried the entire time. So they couldn't do it. We have to go back in a month. We woke him up a few hours early this morning, kept him awake. It was a struggle to keep him awake, but then once we got there, he screamed the entire time. So they couldn't do it. He's sleeping now. So the ear doctor overall just didn't go well. So we have another appointment for that in July, so hopefully he does better then. We've been seeing his pediatric surgeons for his G-tube and then his abdominal incision from his Nissen surgery and his pyloric stenosis surgery. And that incision is looking a lot better. No longer infected, healing fine. G-tube's doing good. We've been able to move his feeds from his feeding tube from continuous to now, they're still continuous, but he gets 3 1.5-hour breaks a day. He's still getting breast milk through his feeding tube. I exclusively pump for him. I've had to limit the amount of milk and dairy I intake, which hasn't been that hard because I'm slightly lactose intolerant too. So him being lactose intolerant isn't that big of a deal to me because he can have a little bit of milk and dairy and whatnot and be fine. So I can have some ice cream and some cheese and whatnot and he's okay. But he just can't deal with a lot. So when he was getting milk products in my milk and then getting formula on top of that, that's when he was running into issues. But he has to have formula in my breast milk because he can only take the small amount of volume in. So he can't take the amount of volume of breast milk he needs to get his calories. So by using the small amount of breast milk and adding in the formula, he's getting more calories in a smaller amount of volume. So we are giving him a hypoallergenic formula. So it's like lactose free or whatever you want to call it. And that has been going great and he hasn't really been having as many issues now with that. He also sees therapy in Goshen. He has a speech therapist, an occupational therapist, and a physical therapist. The speech therapy has been working with me to try to do different mouth exercises with my finger inside on his gums, trying to keep his mouth muscles moving and learning how to move his mouth and bite and all of that so that hopefully we can eventually get rid of the G-tube. Right now, he still isn't doing the best with that, but we're working on it. And maybe eventually he'll start to get better with it. She's having me introduce different tastes to him. So before I go and do his mouth exercises with my finger, I'll put a few drops of something on it. So he has tried lemonade, broccoli cheddar soup, peach blueberry smoothie, some cinnamon sugar from the Pizza Hut breadsticks that they have. He also tried pickle juice, which we actually have a clip of. Ready, buddy? You don't like it? Thoughts? Maybe a 2 out of 10? You don't hate that as much as fruit punch? So yeah, he doesn't like a lot of taste, but he does like breast milk and water. Those are the 2 things that he doesn't mind so far. He has started smiling recently, so that has been a lot of fun. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yeah. You're so cute. Bloop, 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 bloop.
So that you can talk? Yeah. You want to show us?
He has also started to coo and talk to us. So sometimes we'll talk to him and he'll start responding back with little like noises. Sometimes he just makes the noises out of nowhere as if he's talking to himself. It's just really cute when he's been talking to us, and we love his little noises he makes. And he's gonna start giggling soon, so that's gonna be another fun milestone. With physical therapy and occupational therapy, he has rolled over from his stomach to his back a few times this week. He just started doing it, and he does it more there than he does at home. At home, he's done it once or twice. The one time he did it, I tried to video it to show Josh because Josh was at work, and it turned into a 9-minute video because it was just taking him a while. So that is not going to be in this clip because nobody wants to sit around and wait for 9 minutes watching that happen. And he also is trying to scoot when he's in tummy time, which is kind of funny. He does it better when he's at therapy, but he has done it a few times here at home. It's just not as coordinated as it is when he's at therapy. And we'll show you guys what that looks like. Overall, therapy's been going great. We've been working a lot with head control and trying to get him to have more control of his head. So that means a lot of tummy time. He didn't get a lot of tummy time in the NICU and then at home once we got home because of his abdominal incision that he had from surgery. So we're trying to catch up with tummy time. He is a little behind when it comes to head control, but he is right on point with other milestones and he's ahead in some milestones. So it just kind of depends. He's really all over the place. And we are just hoping that he continues to get better with that. We will eventually have therapy every week. Right now it's every other week because with insurance, you can only have 10 speech therapy appointments a year and then 20 OT and 20 PT appointments each year. So we're working on getting him Medicaid because they allow you to go weekly like he should be going for all the issues he has wrong. For Medicaid, we did qualify for 2 waivers, but one has home health care, which we really don't need at this time because we don't want somebody coming into our house who we don't know if they're self-isolating or what they're doing, especially since our doctor told us every time we go out of the house, we need to shower and change our clothes and whatnot before touching Bentley, just because his immune system is pretty compromised. And so we can't really do that with somebody from home health care. So we're trying to avoid that, but if we can't just get Medicaid straight out, we'll go that route. He qualified for those waivers because he is legally disabled. And right now it looks pretty minor, but we really won't know until he gets older what his cognitive and mental function will be. But since he is so young when he was diagnosed and we are getting the therapies we need early on, it is looking pretty hopeful for our little Bentley bear. And we are doing pretty great overall. He's been growing and doing well with his therapies and his appointments and staying pretty healthy. It just sucks that we have to stay home all the time and not really go out, can't really see much of our family, and we want people to be able to meet him and hold him and just interact. And I want to be able to go to Target again because I love Target, but with all the coronavirus stuff, it's been hard. He has struggled a lot with learning how to cough, and that is a big thing that plays into him getting sick. So if he were to get sick, especially with coronavirus right now, he doesn't have that capability to cough up what's in his lungs. So he would end up in the hospital just because he really can't cough. When he tries to do it, his face turns bright red, his eyes get watery, and it takes him probably about a good minute to just sitting there struggling. And it's the saddest thing ever to watch. Basically, because when he tries to cough, it ends up in him also dry heaving at the same time since he can't throw up because of his Nissen surgery. So it's just an overall process, and we've been working on things. A lot of that relates to him having a low muscle tone. So that's why he's also in therapy to help build up his muscle strength. And once he gets more core muscles, he'll be able to cough better, and then he would be able to fight off infection easier. But he'll always be slightly immunocompromised, and because of the low muscle tone, he'll always be more susceptible to respiratory infections. But overall, he's been doing great. We're in his room right now, and so I will give a little room tour to show off what his room looks like. He has been sleeping this whole entire time, but we'll show you his room next, right, bud? Yeah, he's out. We have a gray chair over here that we can sit and rock him in, and we have his books under there. There's more books, but most of them fit there. And then his dresser with his scale, a little ultrasound photo of him, the 2 diapers that we use to zero out the scale before weighing him, cute little hedgehog on the wall, his name sign. There is his crib, a little chair for him, and this ottoman, which is usually in front of the chair, but I was just sitting on it. So we have that stuff. And then we have these little hedgehogs here, and hedgehog blankets and crib sheets and hedgehog mobile. Yes, I know the stuffed animals cannot be in the crib when he sleeps in it, but he does not sleep in his crib yet. He sleeps in a bassinet next to our bed, so. And then he has a little chair similar to our chair. Curtains, window. The owlet's down there on the floor. We're going to have an owlet monitor above his crib so we can watch him. It's a video camera. And then trash bin. And then let me open his closet. This is his closet. And some, I don't know what those are called, drawers down there. Most of this doesn't fit him yet, but he has a lot of clothes once we work our way up to fitting them. So there's that, and Mama loves to buy him stuff too, so he's pretty spoiled. And that is it for his little 3-month update. I think that's everything going on in the life of Bentley. He sure is a busy little boy. We have about 3 to 5 appointments a week for him, so it's hard to keep up with everything.